Don't be shocked. You're shocked? You're shocked?
I like me better when I wasn't yours. I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back to who I was before. I like me better, I like me better.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is only like the second time that I've had to do an update on one of these downfall videos that I've done before, but I did one on Becca, so I guess I'll do one now on BH Cosmetics. If you guys want to know more, then let's go. So about 4 months ago, I did I didn't really call it a downfall. I said something like what happened to BH Cosmetics, but it was pretty much the same type of story that we go with when I do these downfall videos, right? And whenever I do these, I'm always expecting some type of like pushback from people who for some reason are like heavily invested in these companies. You know, you would think like they literally have money invested in these companies, so they feel personally attacked by someone saying that the company fell off, is not as popular as it was once before. I'm always expecting that when I post these videos, but the pushback that I got with the BH one was so bizarre because it was probably like the worst out of all these videos that I've done. Like I'm thinking of the company that it is compared to the other ones that I've done before, and I'm not seeing why, but it was. Or I'm talking all types of, you don't know what you're talking about. How do you call yourself a beauty YouTuber and you don't know what BH is up to? The one I loved the most was, well, maybe if you just watch the right people, maybe since you only watch like big YouTubers, that's why you haven't heard anything. But if you actually watch smaller YouTubers, you would see that they talk about BH Cosmetics all the time. And it's like, once you get past like the fluff of what you're saying, aren't you pretty much saying the same thing that I just said? Like you're agreeing, right, that maybe bigger YouTubers don't talk about BH anymore, but smaller YouTubers do. And it's like, let's look at it this way. At one point, bigger YouTubers talked about it, or bigger creators, because I wasn't just talking about YouTube at that time, but bigger creators talked about BH Cosmetics. Medium-sized creators talked about BH Cosmetics, and smaller creators talked about BH, right? So altogether, let's say 100 people were talking about BH Cosmetics. But now, bigger creators don't talk about BH Cosmetics. Medium-sized creators don't talk about BH Cosmetics. It's only smaller size creators that you can find. We're being very vague here with these numbers, right? Talking about BH Cosmetics. So that, let's say that went from 100 people to 35 people talking about BH Cosmetics. And then you agree that not as many people are talking about BH Cosmetics as once were, right? And let's say that like 65-ish% that is no longer talking about BH. Do you think they're not talking about BH, but they're still buying? They don't know what BH's latest launch is. They couldn't tell you the last time they even thought of BH Cosmetics. But that 65%, they're still gonna be buying? No, reality would say that 65% probably isn't buying anymore either if they stop talking about them. So again, you're going from like 100% sales to 35%. You lost 65%. How can you say you're the same place that you were years ago? You're at the same level of popularity that you were years ago, which was literally what I was saying, right? But you know who said it? BH Cosmetics. Because if you guys have not heard, I kept getting tagged a couple days ago an Instagram post, and I started having people come back to that video I did on BH Cosmetics, letting me know that it's been announced that BH Cosmetics has filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So if you don't know what that means, basically, they are not bringing in the revenue to where they can maintain their operations as a business. They owe too much money. They owe too much money to debtors, and they aren't bringing in enough money to where they can continue being a business that is selling products. Now, court documents state that BH's main reason for filing bankruptcy is that they are just no longer a profitable business amongst all its competitors. And it's like, hello, ding, 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 ding. Is that not what I be talking about most of the time in these videos, on how no one is saying that the company is going out of business tomorrow, or, you know, everyone needs to start looking for a job on Indeed, which, so when I get updates like this, even I am surprised, right? No one's saying that. What I'm usually saying in these videos is that these companies that were once really, really popular get to a place where they just kind of like plateau as far as how people talk about them, how people shop with them, because they're not doing anything innovative enough to keep them in that talk of conversation, especially in an industry like this where every day another new makeup brand is popping up. Okay, you have all these companies you need to compete with. You have the mainstream ones, you have the indie ones, you have the small business ones that people are thinking about this nowadays when they're shopping, right? You know how many people say, oh, I'm only shopping from small businesses. I'm only shopping from, Black businesses. I'm only shopping from woman-owned businesses. You have all these competitors. You need to do something to where there's the customer standing right here. Why are they going to pick you, BH Cosmetics, over Melt Cosmetics? Why are they going to pick you over you? Which, another thing I was getting is that all their stuff sells out. You don't know what you're talking about. All their stuff sells out. This collection and that collection, actually, even after it's been announced that BH had filed for bankruptcy, I had someone go back to that BH video and say, it sounds like you just don't know about BH Cosmetics because you keep mentioning Take Me Back to Brazil when they had this person's collab and they had that collab that also did well. And it's like, well, if you listened to comprehend and not to argue, you would have realized that when I kept mentioning Take Me Back to Brazil, I was saying Take Me Back to Brazil is BH Cosmetics' staple product, which is why years later, it is one of the main products that they are pushing the most, because staple products, legacy products, those are products from companies that it's their best seller, it's what they're most known for. It's a product that has longevity to where they can continue selling it and continue making it a household name years later, right? Which is why, even though all these people are saying, why does Urban Decay keep pushing those naked palettes? Lancome, Tinty Doll, those are staple products, right? Which for someone who has been in the makeup game, you have a Sephora size makeup collection, those things don't impress you. But for people who are just getting into makeup, or people who are coming into the age where their parents are going to start allowing them to wear makeup and stuff like that, where they have their own money to buy it, those are the products those people are going to be running to because they've heard everyone else talking about it. That's what a staple product is. So let's look at that logic there of they came out with this person's collab. I can't even remember what collabs that they named in that little comment, right? That person's collab, this person's collab. Collabs are usually limited edition, right? They sell them for maybe a month, 2 months, and maybe, oh, we know how much you guys love this, so we're gonna bring this back maybe 6 months later. But are they still selling Carly Bybel's collab? It was a big collab for the company. It's not a staple product. They don't sell it anymore. You can't buy it anymore. They still selling It's My Ray Ray collab. Again, big things, right? But again, if we don't want to go with just, common sense, then we could just go off the words of BH itself, right? So BH's Chief Restructuring Officer, Spencer Ware from River and Management, stated that the company had struggled to obtain profitability after pursuing an ultimately unsuccessful launch of various product lines. So it's like, you see how that whole being a consumer and having your feelings versus actual facts. The company is literally telling you that we have been pushing out launches after launch after launch, and they're just not doing well. They're not selling how they once were. And I also noticed, and I'll have everything linked down below, the different articles that you can read. I noticed that they said that they had thought 2019 was going to be a transition year for them. So they got they were bought out in 2019, a new seller or a new purchaser in 2019, new management, something like that. Basically, they wanted 2019 to be a new transition year for them, right? And I think I mentioned in that BH video how 2018, 2019-ish is around the time where things really seem to change and you didn't really hear much. And I feel like that happens a lot. When you start noticing that a company is not acting how it once did, it's not pushing out the same type of creative products that it once did, it's usually either been sold to another company who doesn't have the same values, they don't have the same, focus points, or they have new people in charge, new creative directors, stuff like that, and again, the visions are just not aligning with what they're pushing out. But what stuck out to me the most is that they said they were supposed to come out with a skincare line, but they decided to not do that so that they could focus on celebrity collabs that they had coming out. If you saw that BH video, I mentioned that, or if you saw it on your own, last year they did push out collaborations with Iggy Azalea and Doja Cat, and I was looking at it like, you're collaborating with celebrities. These are people who have a fan base that will stay up with you for hours, arguing with you, right? They will look up your criminal history, see if you have any open warrants for you, and report you because you said that you didn't like the dress that their fave was wearing. So it's always bizarre to me when celebrity-based collabs or company launches, stuff like that, don't do well, because that means you have a very, very serious disconnect with your product and who you're pushing it to. Because a lot of celebrities can sell just off the name. Okay? If it's Rihanna, it's gonna sell out. If it's Beyonce, it's gonna sell out. Here's the thing. It was Ariana Grande. It should have sold out. It's everything else about it, because the thing is, nowadays, when it comes to celebrities and influencers, for a lot of people, the name just is not going to be enough nowadays, specifically in this beauty industry type thing, which is why, this stuck out to me the most. Even in the article, it says that, they were really, really hoping that these celebrity collabs with Doja and Iggy were going to help them, because they're thinking from a business point. You're a celebrity. We should be able to just sell this off the name of you being a celebrity. But even the article lists that, right now, a lot of celebrities are coming out with their own businesses, with their own makeup lines, and we see some are doing well, some are not, and people are baffled because all of them should be doing well because they're all celebrities, right? It should be Fenty, Rare, Rem, House Labs, but it's not. It's Fenty, Rare, House Labs, Rem Beauty. You see the difference with how those 4 celebrity brands have been introduced and how they've been embraced by the makeup community, because it's not just you being a celebrity that's going to sell it for you nowadays. The actual product has to align with what you are putting out there and what people are going to buy, and so you can crack into the makeup community as a whole, not just your fans that wear makeup, right? If you actually want to be that billion-dollar company that Fenty is, right? Fenty's $1 billion. Yes, it is. If you actually want to be that billion-dollar company and not just the celebrity that's making money off their things, you're gonna have to figure out how to crack into that makeup world. So that's why even now, relying on an influencer or a celebrity collab to get you out of the amount of debt that BH is in, they are in a lot of debt. Okay, I think it said something like their revenue has been cut in almost half. Okay, again, which is what I was saying with the whole, like, if you lost like 65% of people talking about you, you're losing like 65% of your revenue. Their revenue went from almost like 60 something-ish million to like 30-ish something million. So it's like, and their debtors, I think like 2 debtors, they were already in, 20 million. And that's another thing that I be talking about in these videos. You're not listening to consumers, okay? Because if you were listening to consumers, think back like a couple years ago when for some reason brands just continued to want to push out rainbow highlighter. Like, it had its little moment. Let's think logically here. Why are we pushing out a rainbow highlighter when we know the average person, which is usually who we're selling to, unless you're a company that's in a very, very niche part of the makeup community, the average person is not going out in rainbow highlighter. So if we want to push out one just so we can hop on the trend, okay, cool. But it's like 3 years later now. Why are y'all still launching rainbow highlighter? That's the same thing that I thought when I saw that they had planned on launching a skincare line, but they decided to focus on the celebrity collabs instead. It was like, if you had listened, you would know in recent years, a lot of people are over the whole influencer collabs, celebrity collabs. Right now, if you are going to push an influencer celebrity collab and you really want it to hit, you need the influencer, the celebrity whose name holds weight, who has that relationship just in the makeup community, not just with their own fan base, and a product that is going to make sense. That is the only way your influencer celebrity collab nowadays is really going to at least save you if you're facing millions of dollars of debt. Because people have caught on, okay? Are people still buying stuff just because of the name? Yes, they are. But too many people have caught on okay, to putting someone's name on packaging and just pushing the products out there to where that is not going to sustain you anymore. So if you had been listening, you would know that's how the consumer is feeling on influencer and celebrity collabs, and you would know that they are really getting into skincare nowadays. They are, you see the rise of skincare influencers. You see people who are more active in the ingredients that are in products. I actually would have liked to know what would have happened if they had gone with the skincare line instead of, the celebrity, whatever collaboration that they came out with. Because the Iggy one, the only reason I knew about the Iggy collab is because Iggy was arguing with people on Twitter, people who said that they didn't like the collaboration. And the Doja Cat one, I actually did see like maybe 1 or 2 people get it in PR or something like that. But as far as like actual tutorials, I didn't see any of that with the Doja one. So I actually kind of wonder what would have happened if they had launched that skincare line. So where does that leave BH Cosmetics? Technically, it's not like Becca, where Becca had to flat out come out and say we're closing. They're not closing, but they have filed for bankruptcy and they are trying to sell their intellectual property. Do I think someone will bite? I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna leave them links down below. You can go see just like how much debt that they're in. You gotta think like other companies have to look at it like how profitable is this for us, right? Because I think they said at the time when it had been purchased in 2019, it was a $60 million profit that they were bringing in, and now they're talking about like that profit's cut like almost in half. It's got all this debt. Do I think it's impossible? No, I don't, because look at Victoria's Secret and Forever 21. I feel like one of them, or maybe both of them, at a point we're filing for bankruptcy every other 6 months. You're like, didn't you already do this? I am waiting on the Everything Must Go sale and y'all playing in my face like I'm trying to shop. Y'all keep mentioning bankruptcy, you're not going out of business. And right now, you can go shop Victoria's Secret, you can go shop Forever 21. Those are 2 brands I've also done downfall videos on. And again, they're not as popular as they once were, but they're still around, right? I think, let's hope that's what will happen for BH Cosmetics. And if it does, if you are purchased by someone else and you're looking for some tips on what you can do, what some people might be wanting to see from you as a company, I do have the other BH video. But that is it. A little update on BH Cosmetics, what's going on with them right now. Let me know in the comments down below if you're shocked. Like I said, I was shocked to see that. I'm always shocked when I see like little updates like that on these companies. Because like I said, like my perspective be coming from the PR place, not the finance company, not the finance department of the company, right? So I don't know that backing of it, but usually, the finance, PR, the marketing, the advertising, they all align, which is why companies need all those departments. So if it's not looking too good in one department, it probably won't be looking too good in the other one. But let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you think the company could do at this point. And yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. So make sure to thumbs up, comment, subscribe, turn notification bells, all of that gets right down below. Thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.